I recently asked my subscribers a question. What's the #1 challenge that's stopping you from investing in a few properties and living off the rental income for the rest of your life? Sarah from Birmingham replied, my worry is dealing with the tenants. I'm sure you've seen the TV programs about nightmare tenants. What if I rent to someone and they wreck the house? Or they don't pay the rent and I just can't get them out? This is a really common fear and I totally get it. And so let me see if I can put your mind at ease here, Sarah, in this video. Hello, my name is Tony Law from Your First 4 Houses, and my channel is all about helping you replace a job-based income with just a handful of investment properties so that you can give up the day job if you wish and go and do something more interesting with your life. If this is your first time here, be sure to subscribe to the channel and click that bell notification icon so that you don't miss out on any of the free content that I give you each and every week. Nightmare tenants is probably the biggest fear that most newer landlords tend to have, and I completely get it. If you've never rented to somebody before, I totally get it. And of course the program that you're referring to is Nightmare Tenants and Slum Landlords, which in case you've never seen it, it's really addictive to watch. I'd encourage anybody to watch it. But I would hope that we would all recognise that the what's represented in that TV program is the minority. It's a very, very small percentage of all of the problems that happen out in the kind of private rented sector. You've got to recognise that, which is why it makes it such addictive viewing. And right at the top of this video, can I just say that if you yourself are watching this and you've got a problem with tenants, Landlord Action, who are the main people that kind of, you know, organise that particular program, are probably brilliant people to reach out to. In addition to the NRLA, which you'll hear me mention a couple of times in this video. But moving on from there, I have an entire playlist, I'll put the link up here, an entire playlist on how to kind of work with tenants, all the way from advertising for them initially, carrying out the viewings, carrying out referencing, making sure that you're keeping the good tenants in your properties, and sadly ultimately evicting them if necessary. And I do of course recognise that you can get problems with tenants. Have I had problems with tenants? Yes, I have. Was it the end of the world? No, it wasn't. I resolved the 2 or 3 problems that I've had and I kind of move on with my life. I think we need to recognise here the tenants are your customers, and so you need to go out of your way to look after your customers. I don't get why some people don't get that. You need to look after them. The more you look after them, frankly, you know, the better it is for your business. You can maybe charge just a little bit extra because you're supplying them with the very best service or product, and they'll stay for the long term if they're looked after. Now, immediately, if you want to eliminate the fear, obviously the first option is to bring in a competent letting agent. And of course they then take over every aspect of, or they can, every aspect of the property. As an example, I've got some flats in Salisbury and a shop that I rent out in Salisbury, and I don't have anything to do with them. The letting does everything, and it's completely hands-off for me. Yeah, I pay a bit of a fee for that service, but it's money well spent. I never have to worry about anything. But moving on from there, I want to give you 8 key steps that will help you when it comes to making sure that you don't get any problems, Sarah, with any tenants. The first one, before you buy the property, make sure you buy a property in an area with a strong rental demand. A strong rental demand means that you can be picky about the tenant that you bring into your property, and it also means that they will probably stay there because there's a limited supply and there's a lot more people looking for properties or rooms or whatever it might be that you're renting out than is available stock wise. So buying areas of strong rental demand, that alone will give you a better chance of getting better tenants. Ensure that your adverts that you're putting out there, or that your letting agent are putting out there, appeal to the more professional tenant. That's what you're really looking for, I would suggest. Be very, very, very choosy with the tenant. Now, when we do viewings on one of our HMOs, we might actually view 20, this sounds a bit ridiculous, I know. but we might actually have 20, not necessarily viewings, but 20 solid inquiries for one room when an advert goes out there. That means that we can be very, very choosy about the person that we offer the room to. You need to carry out extensive referencing, and in that playlist there's a great video on there that will go through exactly what you need to do step by step. So that's really, really important, Sarah. You need to obviously have a solid tenancy agreement. Now, I would personally just go straight to the NRLA for tenancy agreements. In fact, quick advert for them. You do what you want, I don't make any money out of this, but you should be a member of the NRLA, in my opinion. They have all the documentation that you need, including bang up to date tenancy agreements. So just go and join them, they're awesome. And use their tenancy agreements, and then you know you've got the correct legally binding contract or tenancy agreement that you can use. Once you've got the right tenant in your property, you need to look after them. Go out of your way to make sure that they are happy, content, and not really they're not really in any way unhappy in staying in the property. And there's lots of things that we could kind of flag up of really good examples as to why a tenant might not be happy. You know what they are, but make sure that isn't you. Make sure that you're giving them a really good service and a really good product, and that you're looking after them. And if you do that, they probably won't give you any headaches, probably. If you do get a problem, you need to jump on it straight away. Make sure that they can see that you're taking massive action immediately. And lastly on my 8-point list here, if you get problems, seek advice, not from some bloke down the pub or somebody on a forum. Go to the NRLA. Honestly, they have the best advice line if you get any problems. So all in all, have I had problems with tenants? Yeah. Have they been the end of the world? No. They're my customers, and I recognise that, and I try to give them a really good product and service. And you know what? These guys, they tend to stay for the long term. So I really hope that helps you, Sarah, and anyone else watching this video. But before you go, don't forget, as always, you get a book out of my fancy book bag. Ta-da! And so, as always, I'm going to stick my hand in here and see what you actually get. As always, I'm going to go, not to the bottom, I'm going to go to the middle this time. Let's see what you get. Oh, right, Sarah, you're actually going to get probably one of the first books that I ever bought. It is quite old, and it's not strictly property related. Multiple Streams of Income. Multiple Streams of Income by Robert Allen, but actually I shouldn't probably really give this away. It's signed. He's actually signed it. Now I'm going to be honest with you and say he didn't sign it for me. This is a second-hand book that I bought off of eBay years ago, so I can't guarantee that's legitimate. But Sarah, that is coming your way. It's an awesome book. Are some of the things in here out of date? Yes. Is the basic philosophy of creating multiple streams of income bang up to date? 100%, especially in today's market. So Sarah, that's coming your way. I hope you find it helpful, and I hope anybody else that's watching this video, I hope I've slightly allayed your concerns when it comes to renting to tenants.